What's good, YouTube? Welcome to Lyrically Speaking with Cyan Alexander, the channel where we conduct literary, the channel where we conduct literary analysis and review of all forms of lyrical content, but mainly hip hop and rap verses and songs. If you saw my first video, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the love and support and the feedback. Still working on the format of the videos, but I guarantee you, as I do this more, it's gonna get better. It's gonna get more concise, and we're gonna make this thing work. But with all that said, let's get into today's breakdown. What's good, y'all? So today, jumping in the lab coat, diving in, breaking down Drake, Champagne Poetry, verse 3 from his latest album, Certified Lover Boy. Now, I've been a Drake's fan since he came out back in the day, with Ransom, with Lil Wayne. But this is my favorite album by Drake in a long time, not gonna front. It gave me old Drake vibes, and the sincerity he came with on a lot of the records, especially this song. It was the first thing I heard off the album, and it spoke to me a lot. So go ahead diving in with the lyrical highlights of the verse. I'm starting with the sonic breakdown, which the flow and the cadence of the verse. It was very slow, even paced verse. He kept it simple, it was spaced out, it was more conversational. It was like he was really just coming through and just talking. It was poetry. It was literally poetry over a beat. It was smooth. I appreciated the simplicity of it too. His tone and his delivery in the song was calm. It was elegant. It was thoughtful, heartfelt. It was poetic. It was. I love the way that he titled the song. It fit, and the beat was perfect for it too. Everything was smooth with this song, and it was one of my favorites for sure. So going in, looking at the rhyme schemes that Drake used in this verse, I thought it was pretty cool how he went a very simplistic route, but still said a lot with it. He really only had three basic rhyme schemes throughout most of the verse. Words that rhyme with the now, words that rhyme with now, words that rhyme with slowly, and words that rhyme with more. It was very basic rhyme scheme, but he said a lot in those verses, which was dope about them. I broke it into three stanzas as well. So the three main stanzas very large as far as I'm concerned. I think the first one's 8 lines, the next one's like 12 or 13, and the last one's like 12 or 13 lines. If you break it down that way, but looking at it as the second stanza, he got heavy cross rhymes in the second stanza. So he did a lot of rhyming. In the first stanza, it was mostly just basic end rhymes. It was dope how he switched it up in the second stanza and put more cross rhymes in there, and developed the rhyme schemes a little bit more, made it a little bit more complicated, but still kept it very simple because it was the same kind of thing. A few of the literary devices that he utilized in this verse that I thought was cool how he did. One of my favorites, again, alliteration. He really used in the third stanza between the last like 5 to 6 lines, where he this the part of me where I find a new part of me to explore. This the part where all of my partners, even though he spaced out the p's, he did a smooth type of alliteration with the partners and the parts and the pardon, and I thought that was dope. And also, one thing he did that was unique throughout the whole verse, how I said he got the three basic rhyme schemes and just three stanzas. He did something that he used a literary device called the epiphora, which is basically saying that it's a bunch of the lines ending with the same repetitive sound. It's kind of like alliteration, but it's the end rhyme sound. So where he's like I said, in each stanza, he kind of does it. So in the first one, it's the now, thou, trial, and a lot of those are slant rhymes, so they don't rhyme directly. It's really the way he says it that makes them rhyme, but it still breaks down the same way. It's pretty smooth. The second stanza, he's on the armies, the homie, the for me, the lonely, and in the third stanza, he's talking about the more, bored, Lord, those rhymes. So I thought that was cool. But each stanza in itself is an epiphora because it just repeats the same kind of rhyme at the end. So I thought that was smooth as well. With that in mind about the alliteration and even the epiphora, one of my favorite lines of this verse, definitely lines at the end where he used the alliteration. I appreciated how he allowed that to build up and kind of crescendo the end of his verse, and just build up all the meaning and feeling that he had in the beginning of the song, because he spilled his heart in the song. He said a lot. So I appreciated how that he used the alliteration to build up the emotion in those final lines of the verse. Um, And my favorite metaphor throughout the whole verse, though, was definitely lines 14, 15, where he said, "My parents' divorce is on me. My therapist's voice is making my choices for me." I thought that was the deepest thing he said in the line, because it was a real big salute to mental health. And that's a big thing nowadays, because everybody out here, we all tripping. Let's just be real. But I thought that was a dope nod to how he, even though in all his success and his fame and all the money he got, he's still dealing with it, and he put it in his music in a very in a different type of way. His therapist's voice is making the choices for me. He ain't even thinking for himself hardly. He's just going through the motions. It's kind of deep when you think about it. So when I analyze the psychology of the verse, when I the way I look at it, I feel like looking at it from a cognitive perspective is the most accurate, or most fitting for me, because in this verse I see him processing his surroundings, what he's been through, what he's dealing with, and it's all affecting him as a person, and he displays how is it affecting him and how it's making him think and what it makes him concerned about, the questions it raises in his head. So I like how he in this verse took a cognitive approach. You see the wheels turning. You see him bringing up things and recalling memories and anticipating certain things. And I thought that was pretty dope how he did that with the verse. So from a philosophical standpoint, it's apparent that Drake is dealing with the pros and the cons of his own success in this verse and in this song, even throughout the whole album, even throughout a lot of his music. Anyway, it's apparent that he's struggling with this conflict on his inside. It's an ethical struggle. He feels like maybe he shouldn't be in a position to ask for more, but then at the same time, he looks back and sees everything that he's done, accomplished, and done for others, and maybe he feels like he should get more or receive more in whatever form he's talking about. I don't know what he means exactly, but you could tell that he's saying he's saying something along those lines. And it's apparent in lines like the pressure is weighing on me, career going great, but now the rest of me fading slowly. He's definitely dealing with some kind of trying to find a balance in something. And it's an interesting perspective, especially thinking someone as famous as successful as Drake, the modern day Michael Jackson type thing. Like, he's big. So the fact that he's going through something that a lot of us go through in our own heads, trying to figure ourselves out, where we going, what we doing, what we deserve. It's kind of interesting to see the perspective of somebody on that level, breaking it down and dealing with it. All right, so that has been the lyrical analysis of Champagne Poetry by Drake, verse 3. Appreciate you again for coming through and joining me here, Lyrically Speaking with Cyan Alexander. Appreciate it if you take the time, leave a like, a comment, subscribe, tell me what verses you want to hear me break down. Getting into the groove of things here, so bear with me. I already got a bunch of videos planned out, but I want to open this up to communication. So send me some feedback, send me advice, send me things that you want to hear about or see me break down, or different ways I could. Anyway, show you love. Appreciate you one more time. Lyrically Speaking with Cyan Alexander. I'm out.